All right, boys and girls, back again for May 6th, reading from your third distance learning packet. So again, read for 20 minutes on your own, and then we're going to take a look at this next passage. It's the next 2 pages of the selection, The Tropical Rain Belt. Today, you're going to explain what causes the tropical rain belt. So why is that belt there? And it's also known as the ITCZ, which was called the itch. All right. So the itch is caused by trade winds. So remember, we're looking for, again, what causes the tropical rain belt. So and it's caused by trade winds. So let's keep reading to figure out what that means. So the itch is caused by the trade winds. The trade winds meet or converge at the equator. In the northern hemisphere, the trade winds move in a southwest direction. In the southern hemisphere, they move in a northwest direction. The point at which the trade winds converge forces the air up into the atmosphere. This forms the itch. Okay, so the winds from the north, that top part right here, right? This top part. And the winds from the south come together and they meet. And that meeting is what forms that itch. All right, makes sense, I hope. It says, in the tropics, storms tend to be short in duration. They may not last very long, but they can produce intense rainfall. It is estimated that 40% of all tropic rainfall rates exceed 2.5 centimeters or 1 inch per hour. Greatest rainfalls occur when the sun is directly over the equator. This occurs twice a year, in March and September. As a result, there are 2 wet and 2 dry seasons. Farther away from the equator, the 2 rainy seasons merge into one. Here, the climate becomes monsoonal, with 1 wet season and 1 dry season. In the northern hemisphere, the wet season occurs from May to July. In the southern hemisphere, it occurs from November to February. Extreme tropical storms. A tropical cyclone is a warm core, low pressure system that develops over the tropical or subtropical waters and has an organized circulation. Depending upon location, tropical cyclones have different names around the world. In the Atlantic and Eastern Pacific Oceans, we call them hurricanes. In the Western Pacific, they're called typhoons. In the Indian Ocean, they're called cyclone. Regardless of what they're called, these conditions typically lead to the formation of tropical cyclones. Warm ocean waters, at least 80 degrees, throughout a depth of about 46 meters or 150 feet. An atmosphere that cools rising water vapor quickly as it gains height. Relatively moist air near mid-level of the troposphere. A minimum distance of at least 480 kilometers or 300 miles from the equator. A pre-existing near-surface disturbance. And little vertical wind shear between the surface and the troposphere. Wind shear is the change of the wind speed with height. So in these cyclones often cause flooding. So if you can see these kids, they're waist deep in water, and they can have high winds that exceed 74 miles an hour. All right, and I'll see you tomorrow for more reading on our tropical windstorms.